Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with
Michael Anthony Fitness.
and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joking Sports Report. Without you guys, oh my God, without you guys, what am I going to do? What am I going to do without you guys? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's shop time. We getting our shop on. We got, I got to get this nagging, stinking Redskin fan off my back. You know, I got to get him off my back. And we know Redskin fans, they need to drink. We just know that Redskin fans need to drink. So I got to build a bar for my cousin. We know Redskin fans need to be liquored up because, well, let's face it, Redskins stink worse than the Eagles. That's some shit right there. We know that that's some shit. Now we can say, well, take the little, there should be a little more sandpapers over there for it. It'll take time to get to. How's everybody doing? Oh, let me see if I can do a Philly 500. How's everybody doing? Because I'm a doofus. It's Philly 500. The doofus here. And Mark Holmes, Mark Holmes, Mark Holmes. I don't know anybody else in the world but Mark Holmes. Mark Holmes is delusional. Carson Wentz is underrated. He's the best thing in the history of football. Carson Wentz. Yeah. That fool. Philly 500. He don't know. He don't know what he's messing with. We don't know he's about to step into some shit. I don't want to hurt the guy, but I gotta tell you, he's playing with fire. He's playing with fire. Is anybody there? You guys getting a signal? Can anybody see me? Can anybody hear me? Anybody know I'm home? Anybody? Anybody? Is it the end of the world? Neo! There we go. Every time I get on here and I don't see anybody after a couple minutes, it's like, oh shit. Has the world finally been lost it? That's all I want to know. Has the world finally been lost it? So, here's what we is doing. We are putting together a big freaking panel for a bar. A big raised panel. What's up? Oh, you see me. Cool. This is actually going to be a raised panel for the front of a bar that we're building right now. So we're going to be laminating this up. And this is fun. This is hard work, too. This gets to be crazy because we've got the panels and then the medians and all that, and getting it lined up and clamped, it's a bitch, and it's heavy as shit. You know what? I may want to take just a little bit more, one more pass on this, because it's kind of thin. I mean, kind of thick. Thick is good as a woman. You don't want it too thick or too snug in there. See it before you stand. There's no point in it. It's not down. we got here? You guys, wow, ain't nobody here. What we got here, this is actually the wood that we had yesterday that we planed down to 5/8 of an inch. See that? We've cut the shape into it. This is a raised panel. And see what's going to happen is these are going to go into the groove like this. And it's going to be beautiful. And unlike what you see when you buy stuff in the store, which is just kind of like molded wood and then it's got veneer on it, these are actually solid wood panels. But what we have to do is we actually have to make these float inside a frame because they're going to expand and contract. So all of this is oak. And this thing is going to be about 7 feet long, 42 inches tall, and it's all oak. There's no plywood or anything in here. This is how you really, and how it used to always be done when people were building things. So it's going to be nice when we put it all together. So thanks for joining me this morning. I hope everybody's doing. Let me do my Philly 500. How's everybody doing? Philly 500 here. I'm the King Dingbat. Duh. Okay. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. Damn, YouTube. YouTube, cut it. Everybody, I'm doing great, man. We're just, like I said, we're here in the workshop. Me and Michael Anthony equipment. We're building a bar, a desk, a dresser, and a bed. But we can't do them all at one time, so we have to do it piece by piece. This is going to be the first piece that we're doing here, which is the bar. Purr Squad, how you doing? Dan the Man Cunningham, how's everybody doing on this Friday? I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff glued up, and then I'm going to go out and drive in my truck and go by my parents' house, drop off the scrap wood, get some more propane from my grills and stuff, and enjoy the day. Enjoy the weekend. How about you? What you got planned?
Work.
You got work. That's all. Hey, that's a hard working man. He like, I want to get my down payment for a house. He's like, I want my own place. I'm tired of you, Dad. I'm tired of you. I want my own place. I need my space, damn it.
But it does make it easier.
See,
working for work.
Well,
It does make it easier.
yeah, he's looking at it because it's a way of building wealth. Real estate. The good Lord ain't making no more dirt. They ain't making no more dirt. So you want to own some of that dirt. I'm telling you. Whew. Oh, Lordy. Those are samples, right? Huh? Which ones are samples?
This one's saying that I'm. This one's saying
These two are. Yeah, those two are. Okay. All right, so I need to go through these together. Alright, we're going to start putting this thing together. Ready to see some magic happen, y'all? Alright, so check this out. You see this? This is woodwork. See, that is the exact opposite of this one. So this all fits together. Yeah, Purr Squad, you always, man, hey, let's see, what have I done this morning? I've loaded up the truck with scrap wood. Well, Melvin, the hard part is you need to be somewhere close by for me to be able to deliver. Because I don't know how can I ship furniture?
that's gonna cost a lot of money.
See, that's the problem would be is shipping the
you have to
furniture.
ship it like freight.
Yeah, freight. But I mean, I love building shit. I mean, this is a lost art. And see, as we go through with this pandemic, here's what we're realizing. When you depend on shit coming from overseas, you may not get it when you think you are, and you don't know how good the shit you're getting is. Most of our stuff is manufactured in China. You don't have real craftsmanship anymore. So this is an opportunity for us to start getting back to what America used to do, which is building shit. And that's what I'm doing. I'm building in America. Here's my thing. And I don't mean to get political or anything, and I don't mean to bash any other country or anything. But here's the thing. We've heard about China having baby formula that was poisonous. We've gotten tires for Ford Expeditions and stuff back in the day that were blowing up and causing them to crash. We've had dog food that's killed dogs, right? And here's the question I have is, do you really think China cares what they send us? Do you really think that? Because it's all about the dollar. So a lot of times we're buying stuff that's got a cheap price on it. It doesn't last. True story. The dresser he's using right now, I built when he was 1 year old. 29 years. 29 years it's been around. You ain't finding that these days, okay? So this is an opportunity to say, hey, why don't we get some stuff built here in America? So, that's what I'm trying to do. Let's help American businesses. We're all hurting. Let's take care of ourselves. Now what's cool about this is going to be glued together, and there's no mechanical fasteners that are going to take that are needed for this. Only the wood. So that, this panel's going to go. Look at that. I'm going to take just a hair. We have to allow for the wood to move because it's a living and breathing thing. So it needs just a little bit of space. Because if you don't allow it to have room to expand and contract, it'll actually break itself apart. This is going to be beautiful. Damn shame it's going to the Redskins' house. It's a damn shame, ain't it? See, I love this. Turn the camera down so you guys can see this. Okay, so what we're making is a solid wood raised panel for a bar. This is the front of the bar. I don't think that you're that far from. Well, yeah, if you're not too, if it's not more than maybe 2 hours away, yeah, I could do that with my truck. As long as you got some. Good bottle of rum when we get there. Maybe some barbecue and chicken wings. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. I tell you what I wish. I wish I were jet deep. Jet D's got the ultimate garage. Jet D's garage is freaking incredible. Jet D is like, I mean, it's like a barn size. It's got like a 20-foot ceiling.
Fit your red truck in there and still have space.
I can fit a dump truck in there and still have space. Man, are you kidding me? I'd have like one side would be the finishing room, another side would be just like the lumber room, and then I'd have all the tools in the middle.
He actually has the finishing room in his garage.
Connect Cowboys, I got to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, it's only an hour ride away to the stadium, but I just don't know with the pandemic, and it seems like it's coming back around. We're just got to see how everything is. We don't know if anybody's going to be able to go to those.
First, you have to figure out if they're going to have fans, and second, you have to figure out what the rules are.
Right.
When they do allow fans.
Yeah, exactly. But if things are safe, yeah.
You know what you are going to do.
What's that?
When you're going to do your little virtual thing.
Oh, well, definitely.
With the ones for you that can't come
Definitely we'll be doing, either way, I'm going to be doing game casts and stuff even for every game. But since it's finished sanding this, we're using that tin on. But oh, you got ticket insurance. That's good. You know, I think what it's going to end up being is, I think it's going to end up being that they'll do it, but it'll probably be reduced capacity.
It'll be like 25.
You know, where, you know, Cowboys probably get 40,000 in there or so.
But the Cowboys, they can change the seats, but they need them to be a little bit further apart.
Oh, well, Elaine, make sure you send me a picture. Email me a picture with your shot glass so I can add it up onto the
I got
site.
2 more that you can add.
Okay.
That someone sent on the other email.
That's going to be coming up. Well, you know what's messed up? This is the one damn time that Dana's not in here. Any other time, he's like, "Where's my bar? Where's my bar?" I'm always working on other people's stuff. One time, I'm working on his shit.
Well,
He ain't in here.
we got time to watch it later.
Now check this out. Look at that. That's all it takes to hold this together. Now, can I give you guys some realness? Can I give you guys a real story? Seriously, can I give you guys a real story? This is a life experience story. I have always, this is going to be a bar. It's going to be a bar, unfortunately, for a Redskin fan, but it's going to be a bar. But see, I have always in my life enjoyed doing woodworking. I have loved it. I mean, always loved woodworking, right? I took shop in high school, right? Howard Floyd. Howard, your fish is doing good out there, buddy. Yours and Big Wizzy, they're doing good, man. In fact, I got some new friends to go out there with. I got 5, was it 5? I think I got 6 fish yesterday, but they're small, they're little babies, and it's amazing because you're looking at a fish tank, you know, at the store, they look big. I get them home, it's like, where the fuck are they? They're little, but that's the size they were last year. But thank you for that super chat. But here's the thing. I always liked doing woodwork. My dad had probably about 10 years old, and my parents' house was built during Reconstruction, and we had what they called the meat house, and it was this white oak building that had cedar shingles on it that they used to smoke all the meat because it used to be like a farmhouse. And then we have the garage. They have a second garage that's still there. My dad still has. And in the garage, he had this piece of equipment. It was called the Shopsmith Mark II. And that was like a universal piece of equipment. It was a table saw. It could convert and become a drill press or a wood lathe or a disc sander. And what else am I missing? Let's do something else. Oh, horizontal boring jig. And this thing, when I was about 10 years old, was covered with dirt and everything else. And so I cleaned it up and I started doing woodwork. Because I always did so. There's actually cabinets and things that I built as a little kid that are still in use today at my mother's house. This is a true story. If it weren't for COVID, I'd take you over there and show you some stuff. So in high school, I wanted to take shop. Problem is, in high school, the people that took shop were the ones that were looked at as, you're not going to college, you need to get a vocation and all that. And most of the people just took shop so that way I could get a credit and try and graduate. And they basically were people that I would say just didn't give a fuck about anything in the world. I enjoyed building stuff. When I went to school, it was a lot harder. Like I said, I'm not trying to put people in a class or anything like that, but we had some people who didn't necessarily like black people too much. In fact, there was a guy who constantly kept calling me the N-word, okay? Constantly. Shut up, you. Always. Fucking Always. Talk to the teacher. They would say, just ignore it. Be the bigger man. That's no big deal. Finally, me and Howard got into a fight outside. Big fight. In fact, I still have a little scar right here. He got me good. Got me real good in the lip. My teeth went right into there and it cut the blood. It was blood. We both were wailing on each other. We both got in good punches, okay? He had work boots on, too, that were steel toe. I remember because I got kicked by them steel toes. But I had gotten to the point where I just got tired of constantly being belittled. You effing shut up, you. It was constantly. Because I was there in shop class, I wanted to learn how to build shit. Yes, and that's what my focus was. I didn't give a rat's ass about this guy, but I constantly kept getting picked on by him. Okay? Michael Anthony is he's sanding the panels. So I finally got to the point where enough was enough. So we both broke it up. We go to the principal's office. Principal asked him, what happened? I said, listen, I've been complaining about this guy constantly calling me a blank, okay? I'm here in shop class because I want to learn how to build stuff. I enjoy building stuff, but I'm constantly getting abused. And I finally got to the point where I just was enough is enough. And so we went outside to take care of business. Okay? Principal said, you got to be the bigger man. You got to understand, you're black. This is a black vice principal. You got to understand, you're black. You're going to be judged differently than everybody else. I said, yeah, but I can only take so much. At some point, you just have to say, enough is enough. And you don't want to fight. I was there because I wanted to learn and do this. I wanted to learn how to do this stuff for real. And this person wouldn't allow me to do that without being abused. So I stood up for myself. And I fought this guy to finally say, okay, you want to mess with me, you're going to get hurt. So maybe you'll leave me alone. Like I said, principal said, you got to be the bigger man and walk away. Well, I got tired of finally walking away and I stood up for myself. Dan, good afternoon, Dan the man. Or Dan, how you doing? So I get suspended for a week. I get suspended from school for a week. They said, well, we're going to suspend you. That way you can think about what you did. Okay? Howard Floyd, dude calling N-word. Regardless. It doesn't matter what his name was, but I'm curious. I'm actually curious what he's doing today. I actually want to know what he's doing today, but that's why I didn't say his last name, because I do have some people in high school that still follow along. So anyway, come to find out, I got 5 days. Howard got 2 days. He got suspended for 2 days. I got suspended for 5. You see what I did there? That's a true story. Bones. And see, that's what somebody else doesn't understand. I didn't go to shop class because I wanted to go ahead and jump on somebody else. I didn't care less about anything. The only thing I cared about was learning how to do this stuff. I went there because I'm trying to do something with myself. Zachary, I know a lot of us have, but understand my point. I'm just trying to learn a craft and do something I want to do. But I've got somebody there who's constantly in my face telling me, you're a worthless piece of crap, you effing, okay? And when I stand up for myself, I get suspended for 5 days, he gets 2. And that, my friends, is what's going on in the world still today. I was 18 years old when that, no, I'm sorry, no. I was 16 years old when that happened. That was my sophomore year. 16 years old. So here we are, 38 years ago, from when that happened to me, 38 years ago. Shut up, you effing, okay? I'm just trying to learn. And you're blocking me from doing it. And that's the thing that a lot of people, if you've never been in that kind of situation, and I don't hold that kind of stuff against people. I don't go through and say, oh, all white people are like, no, I don't. I judge everybody, or try to, from what's in their heart. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. But in the end, guess what? I've learned how to do this shit. Most of it's self-taught. I'm wondering what Howard's doing these days. I ought to go ahead and join. I forget, what is that? They have the school where you can look up your classmates and all that. I ought to look that fool up and see what he's doing. Oh, it does. Because I get things, because they'll say, such and such looked at your profile. Give me the last few seconds. But you reap what you sow. And it's funny, I had no idea growing up that I would actually be able to do this. Basically for a living. Is he? Okay. So I agree. I can't see how still is going to be better than. See, basically, here's the funny thing. They always said, you got to go to college and, get your education and stuff in order to be successful. That people who don't get that college degree, you have, a lesser chance of being able to make a good living and stuff, which is true. It's true. But also, too, there's a lot of people that go to college that wasted their money because they got a degree that ain't doing shit for them, and they can't get a job, and they got a big pile of debt. But it doesn't matter, per se, what you do. What you do is you got to be the best at what you do. And I don't care if that's cleaning toilets. If you're the best at getting toilets clean, you're going to have your own company that's going to take care of toilets. You know what I'm saying? It's not settling. It's realizing I got something that I'm really good with, and I'm going to be the best at it as I can be. And that's what I'm trying to do here with my woodworking. I know handcrafted shit that nobody wants to pay the money it takes to get real shit anymore, right? Because I can go to IKEA and I can buy, a bar for $300. Why I want to pay you $1,000 for it? Well, that one you're buying at IKEA, if you move, don't try and move it because it ain't gonna last. This shit here, shit. Daniel's son, when he grows up, who's a little tight, he'll be able to take it to his house and say, that was Daddy's bar that my uncle built. And that, my friends, is the difference. Now this becomes the hard part right here, is getting all these pieces to line up to go into the other channel. And you talk about heavy. This is solid wood. and everything. So we get this one started in there. All right, so what we have to do is we got to walk the dog, which means we got to pull this together at a slight angle and work it on up, so that way all of these get put into the slots. Push that closer. There you go. Here's what you can do. Are you ready? Okay, all right, so let's start walking this. Tighten that up just a little bit down there. Just a little bit. Okay, tighten it some more. Keep on. One missing. I don't know why we get this one. Tighten that up just a little bit. That one's in there. Okay, this one. Tighten it up.
Hey, welcome back to Undisputed. Well, the first coming up right after us. So time to check in with Con. Hey, Con, happy Friday. What's on the show?
This is not going to work. Jared Sanders done. Uh-oh. We got ourselves. That's coming.
Too interesting, guys. Look forward to thank you. Okay, Blazers All-Star guard Damian Lillard was asked. Portland was able to move up from the 9th to the 8th seed and make the playoffs, but they beat LeBron and the Lakers. Dame's answer was to the point. I think they beat them. Shannon, you nervous?
No, I'm sure I've been looking.
Put that one up here, tight. Okay, tighten it up just a little bit. Tighten it up.
Yeah, we let them win a game. Play 8 games and they come back. Really? told you all year that they're the biggest on paper threat. Dame is having a career year. He's having a career high 29, a career high 8 assists. So far, so good. CJ can't be unbelievable. There's this 15 and 6.
Big boys.
Power. One of the toughest guys in the NBA is Trevor Ariza. He's now trailblazer, averaging 11 and 5. Scared? Yeah, you're scared. And guess what? Hassan Whiteside leads the league in block shots. He is second in the league in rebounding. And if he goes injured, they get Stephen Holmes back. They got some rim protection.
There we go. Pop. Did you hear that pop? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hold up. You gotta get that pop.
Well, this one not even tight.
I know, because this one just pulled that in. Okay, so here's what I need you to do. You grab that one that just fell down. And I'll put it right here, up under there. Get that snug. Get it up underneath the. Get it up underneath there, so it's on the table. Listen up. Right there. All right. So now we're gonna walk the dog.
Russell Westbrook, but he hasn't had that one big series where he just breaks through into
You can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. Yeah. There it goes. You hear that pop? It was hanging up. And there it goes. Isn't that pretty, guys? Hard to believe that this came on my truck as a pile of lumber. It always amazes me building shit. And see, I'm gonna teach you guys. I'm gonna tell you something. Back to that story about school, where basically they looked at people who did shop and auto mechanics, things like that, right? Good. They would always act like, oh, they're not very smart, and so on. Well, I gotta tell you, everything that you see right here, there's no plans. I went to Daniel's house, everything is right here in my head. All the numbers, all the math, and everything else. Because there's a lot of math. There's a lot of math and geometry. That, oh, damn, we got a whole bunch of super chats up here. Damn, I'm sorry, I missed those super chats. But this is like artwork. So don't ever let anybody try and make you think that because you don't have a college degree. Because I went to college. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went to college and I partied and I met my wife. I'm of the opinion of that's the only reason why I got accepted to school was I was meant to meet my wife. But that guy, like my cousin, who could go and look under the car or the hood and tell you exactly what's wrong with it and fix that shit. I got a friend. Okay, I'm not gonna put his name out there, but Michael, Michael can back me up. Okay, so I have a friend whose son went to college at Drexel University on a full scholarship. He's an engineer. Okay? He's an engineer, graduated with honors. He was trying to tell a story. He was doing work to make extra money. He was power washing people's decks and things. So he was doing a townhouse. The people next door said, "Hey man, you did a great job at power washing the deck. Can you power wash ours as well?" So he's like, "Yeah, I can make some extra money doing this. That's cool." So he ended up not being able to get the hose bib to work. So he ran the hose off the kitchen faucet. It's okay, because he only had one hose going out to first people's house. But he put another hose on to go to the other house so it would reach. And he's out there, he power washed the whole thing, got it all nice and clean. But what he didn't realize was he didn't have a washer in between the two hoses. And the hose ran in the other house on the floor and flooded the floor, in which case it dropped the ceiling. Now he's an engineer, college boy, Drexel University with honors. And they call me and they say, "Oh my God, we got a flood. Explain to me what happens and stuff." And he's like, "I don't know if I can walk across the floor because, you know, the ceiling fell out." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I don't think it's safe to go on the floors, to walk on the floor because the floor got flooded and the ceiling in the basement came down." And I was like, you know, there's floor joists that water just basically took the drywall off, which is not what you actually walk on. Drywall is really for decorations and to seal it up. The plywood may be wet, but it's not gonna like fall apart like the drywall. That's a college person. And I don't fault him for not knowing, because see, here's the thing. I've been working with wood 35 years or more. So I know what it takes to build this, because this is what I do. This is my trade. Oh yeah, educated fool is what my uncle would say. I can build this thing in my head. When I was working at the Smithsonian at the American Indian Museum and having to build that bulkhead, that we had an architect, you know, high price architect. He probably makes more in a half an hour than I make in a week. He couldn't figure out how to make this thing. Couldn't. He drew it up and it's like, I'm looking at it, I'm telling you, I was like, what you drew is not feasible. It ain't gonna work. I told him how to do it. He turned around and drew it, and then it's like, oh, here's the plans to do it. It's like, fool, I done already built the damn thing. I told you how to do it. I don't have the degree that says I'm an architect, that I can stamp the plans. But I can guarantee you, I know more about building than those people that went to school for it.
That's why
you know?
People that's
But see, look at this. This is, let me show you guys a little closer. Look at that. You see that? That is almost perfectly flush. There's not even going to be a whole lot of sanding in here. Look at those joints. You see how pretty that is? That's a solid wood panel. That detail. You can't get this kind of stuff. Or, well, no, let me rephrase that. They will go through and they will have a mold and they'll do particle board and make that, and then they'll spray it with a thick vinyl paint. And it'll look like this, but it won't last like this. Each one of these panels has space in here to float, so it can expand and contract without breaking it. This thing, shit, 150 pounds of solid wood. And see, that's the difference of real versus fake shit. Now, I don't know who the super chats, but I appreciate the super chats and stuff, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me put this together. The next thing I got to do is actually build the cabinets that are going to go with this. We're going to let this dry overnight so that way it gets strong. But the thing about this whole thing, this is what's amazing about this, is the glue parts are only right here, these little sections. Everything else just flows. And it still amazes me. What really amazes me is when I look back at, like, say, the red brick house or colonial time houses. I've got power tools to make all these cuts. They did the same kind of stuff with hand fucking tools. With hand tools. Think about that shit. And it's still standing the test of time. All right, do you think we can pick this thing up and put it over there? Problem is, we need to put it on this side because that side's got those long ones on there. Or should we just, maybe we should just leave it.
Maybe it's probably.
But I want to glue up the tabletop over there, though. But it is. Has anybody seen my cousin up in here?
It might be easier to leave this here.
I mean, it's headed with all those
It
clamps.
might be right.
That shit. You know, we can stand it up. Well, I'm gonna come to you because I really want to get this other piece glued. Well, the bigger question is actually, do we have clamps? I've got enough of the long ones. Yeah, don't get it. I've already said 4. Okay. So we could stand this table. Hold up. We them boys. Hold up. We making noise. So, cuz, if you're in here, show this to your wife. Get on there. Oh, yeah. There you go. No, I want to just drop it down.
I know about the movie.
Just let it go down. Use its weight against it. Let the weight do the work for you. There you go. There we go. This is where I'm envious of Jet D. Jet, I want your workshop, dog. I want your shop. What, move it? This is going to be the top to a desk.
Chris Sims may be right. Now, in this instance, I think Tua has the instincts, kind of the intuitive feel for the game. And the first time I saw him on tape, that few had.
All right, can you move stuff off of that so I can square it up?
It's very similar.
Jet Shop. This is one of those times I wish I had Jet Shop. That's right, I said it, Jet. You know, I wish I had Jet Shop. Where can I find a workshop like that? Where can I find a workshop like that? That's solid maple right there. So, you turn that on. So, this is going to be a desk. It's actually a solid maple top here. This is actually like 5 pieces of wood that we laminated together, just like yesterday we were talking about. We got a load of lumber. We ended up putting this together. We ended up running through the thickness sander. It's sanded flat. It's hard maple. It is hard as a freaking rock. And this is our L-shaped desk that we're making. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to laminate these together. We're going to use our biscuit joiner to help align it and strengthen it. You know, I wish I had Jetty Shop. Where can I find me a workshop like that? Where can I find me a workshop like that? This is a plate joiner, and what it does is it cuts just like a little slot for a wood biscuit.
It should be 3.
All right, now we're going to glue this up. This, would you believe, you know how long I've had this piece right here, Mike? I don't use this very much. I bought this when I was still married to your mother. With Arnold.
That's because That's one of the things that barely do this.
Because I remember him always talking about, man, you gotta get a biscuit joint. He got more tools. He got more tools. He should be happy that you're into woodworking. You might say, hey, Mike, I got some tools for you, son. No?
I want to build a house.
Well, but this is part of building houses too. We gotta have this one's just about empty. There's one on the floor.
There's one right there.
Okay, so this is a wood biscuit. It's compressed wood, okay? And what happens is when you put the glue on it, it'll swell up and help to lock it and helps to line it. It makes that butt joint a little bit stronger.
Not saying Kansas City's plummeted. With the Super Bowl winning hangover, they go back to 11 wins, 10 wins to 1. It's not crazy. I think Wheelock's the next top guy in this league.
The guy from West Virginia
Outrageously comfortable mattresses, not outrageous.
Coach Rulo?
Yeah, it's there.
Information. Upgrade the Father's Day sale is offering free contactless.
That's how they go flash up there.
It is nice to have him, Rick Bucher, around the corner of this NBA player.
Stationary quarterback.
But the other thing too is Flash was old.
Yeah, it's an old stationary quarterback.
And he has a some of the times I don't understand. So what more do you need if you get a ring? Or if you have 6, what more do you need?
I would like to still be playing football. I wish I were physically able to still play football.
If I was Tom Brady, I got 6 rings, I would.
Well, Tom Brady could actually, he could really mess up his legacy.
That's why I was talking.
Because if he looks terrible, they'll say, "Huh, you only got those because of Bill Belichick."
See what?
And the Buccaneers were
See what they're thinking is, oh, we can be the first team to host on this.
was there, and Tony Dungy took over. I left, and they won a bunch of games. But a real fun team to cover. So the last NFL team was really fun. And
I think they'll have fans in the dog
I go
on
a staff.
At some point, they have got
I'll tell you what, you go this year,
They are very good
I'm
at
gonna be driving there.
and they've been investigating Tom Brady.
Well, if he do any games, I just want to do the Redskins game. And sit in
All
that
right, so you see how this lines is up, guys?
I'm cool to sit in the parking lot of the Redskins game. Because I need to go to this year.
Brady, a running back, several times, and super
Smart.
It is
You got that
interesting.
one.
So I think this is the
And
stat.
they- I think that's
The
right.
NFL since the health they were running play. I'm not indicting anybody, I'm just saying.
This is where
We will talk
you
to
never have enough plants.
this station.
And these are the big, heavy duty, I mean heavy duty. This shit weighs a ton.
Define Brady working out with Vermont Bronx in this footage. And they officially found him yesterday. It's fasting. Remember Tom Brady walked in there.
What we'll do is,
Security.
put these two on top of each other, and then we can slide it out and get some underneath of it.
In Tampa Bay. And so we're going to bring on somebody that is part of the sports department that is chasing. I did think it was funny though. You know, they were practicing all day. It's very New England. The minute the choppers overhead, they stop. They just stop. Just down here, some technical pads. It's no big deal. So we will talk to Kevin O'Donnell from that station. Here's two What do you mean?
They're covering their team.
Well, it's illegal to hold practices, but it was interesting.
There we go, guys.
There was a slot receiver, running back, 3 to 4 tight ends, and the receiver.
It's not illegal to work out.
It's not illegal to work out. What they're essentially doing is trying to get the language down with his, let's face it, his tight ends, his running backs, the slot receiver. Here is the language for you. Arians has the offense, but there's a different language Tom's going to use because you're going to have storage of Rule's offensive offense and the efficiency of Brady's offense. And so they're marrying until they have no OTAs.
What do you think, guys?
Preseason.
This is maple. That's oak. So it's two different types of wood. This is what we built for her kitchen cabinet.
I'm talking about the wood and that's different.
Well, this is better too for doing the countertop because it's closed grain wood. And look at that, dead on flush. Now we need to do is get one more clamp up underneath there, or maybe we can slide this one. Oh, we got two.
Overwhelmingly, a mentor, a tutor, and a blocking tight end. That's what he's going to be. But they have two other really good tight ends and two strong receivers. But 30 full catches, 4 touchdowns, and a tremendous red zone blocking tight end. And that's going to be, and again, you got was it OJ Howard?
Slide it back a little bit. Put some steam on it, son.
Tremendous either decoy, target, or blocker. That's all you need for your third tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this because I was
And that's it.
think that Gronk was
We're gonna need more
gonna
varnish
stay
in that
retired.
one
But
because that little
again, it's
team.
not that I think that Gronk was kind of
Alright, so we'll leave this clamped up
with Tom Brady. I think his value
overnight,
is
and that is a solid wood top. Again, you won't find stuff like this in furniture anymore. And see, what we've done is, this has got a base. In the corner, it's basically like a square column, and it's got a shelf across. And we have our other panels. These are, like, this is like one of the legs for it. So we'll actually cut this with a little bit of an angle to it so it'll look decorative, and this will sit on top of it. This is actually, believe it or not, a copy. But if you remember me doing the bathroom with the Kohler walk-in tub in the kitchen, same person. She saw a style that she liked from Wayfair. Okay, so she's like, "Oh, I like that one from Wayfair." She said, "It's only $300." I'm like, "Well, that's a great price." I said, "But I'm gonna tell you that it's made out of garbage." And she said, "Well, that's why I want you to build it." So she sent me the picture of it. I'm building it to look like that from the picture, not plans, from the picture. And see, that's where I keep telling you that, you know, people will say that, you know, oh, you know, he's a carpenter, he does woodworking, he's an idiot. Idiots can't do this kind of stuff. Take a look. So, remember, I just got this wood the day before yesterday. That pile of rough-in lumber, right? We have since taken that, glued all this up, right? Look at this. You see how, I don't know, you see my finger? Look at that. That is dead on flush. There's not even much sanding that we have to do to make this thing right. This thing will be here for a long, long time. But that's all I can do right here in the wood shop right now. I've got a couple of racks that I can put together when I come back, but this stuff is kind of taking up all the space. And I'm gonna go by my mom's house. I'm gonna keep my distance. I'm gonna wear a mask, and I'm gonna take all the scrap wood, and I'm gonna go by BJ's and get all my propane tanks filled up. But I just want to show you guys, you know, it's sad because there's so many things that are truly an art form that are just being lost, you know, to assembly lines and, you know, imports from China and stuff like this. It used to be our country were the best craftsmen in the world, that we literally made everything. The best furniture in the world used to come from Bassett and North Carolina and things. And I'm sad that that stuff doesn't really exist anymore. And maybe through this whole pandemic, it's kind of amazing because there's a lot of businesses that have gone out of business. Let's be real now. I don't know that some of the restaurants will ever come back. But what you're also seeing is people who are now home reinventing themselves in business. For me, I'll be honest with you, I had no idea that I would be able to make these football racks and stuff. I would have never had time to do it before if it wasn't for the pandemic. And what the pandemic has done for me is it's got me to refocus and look at things differently. I don't want to go back to doing a lot of hairy homeowner projects. They end up being, everybody's looking for a bargain, and usually the bargain is on the back of the contractor. You know, you go through and sometimes you take jobs just to say, I've got a job to do, and you know you're losing money at it, and you're busting a hump, and no matter what you do, some people you just can't satisfy. So I'm trying to evolve it where I'm not doing those kind of jobs anymore. I'm trying to figure out how I can go back to building affordable houses so that way people who maybe don't have the means have a nice place to live. We all deserve to have a nice place to live that we feel safe at and that we can raise our kids. Bidding. You're worried about Philly's double moonwalk? Oh, please. Philly, you know, that he a fool. He's trying to get some shit stirred up, and he knows the end is coming. He knows that it's going to be a rough season, so he's trying to get his fun in now. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because I got to go change my clothes, and I don't want to do that here on the channel. We're not going to do that. This is not a porn channel. And get on the road. But I'll be checking with y'all later. Peace out. Thank you for the super chats.